All right. Good morning, and I welcome you to Prince's Seed Channel. Today marks the 1st of November 2025, the beginning of a brand new month, a new chapter that is filled with a lot of expectations for many of us in the grant community. This month actually is standing as a turning point. This long-awaited season that we have prayed and labored for, after a lot of months of anticipation, trials, misunderstandings, confusions here and there, November has finally come. And by God's special grace, we call it a month of salvation, a month of relief, a month of celebration. Over the past few weeks now, so much has been said and so many promises have been made. We've had several updates from government quarters, from the coordinators, from the stakeholders, from the management team, and even from the delegates who traveled to Abuja for an official verification, the solutionist. We have been told that the 3rd of November is the confirmed date when disbursement will begin from the government. And the date has become like a light at the end of a tunnel, a long tunnel for that matter. The day that a lot of people have marked on their calendars with a lot of faith. But as we stand today, just 2 days away, we can't help but notice the silence from Apostle Ken himself and that management of Sanctuary Wealth. There has been no public statement, no video address coming from that wing, no direct confirmation from the apostle himself. And for a lot of people, or for some people, that silence has actually created some mixed feelings and reactions. There's hope on one side and there is worry on the other side. Yet, I think we must also remember that something is very important here. Sometimes faith does not stop working simply because silence appears. Sometimes silence precedes manifestation. Let us look at it that way. All right, don't go anywhere. I'll be with you shortly after this time out. All right, welcome back. Still on course. Thank you very much for standing by. But then there is a moment of reflection. Before we rush into conclusions or some assumptions, this, I think, is a perfect moment for us to reflect. For a lot of months now, we have journeyed through this process, years, and we have from registration to verification, from anticipation to frustrations, and back to our expectations right now. We have listened to different voice notes right in this ecosystem. Some of them are genuine, some of them are misleading. We have seen the rise of false coordinators also who try to manipulate the system in higher levels, taking advantage of subscribers under them. But in all, I think one truth has remained, and that is that this grant is not a scam after all, and it is not for a personal enrichment. It is a divine project that is meant to uplift communities and also restore dignity to our families, to our lives, to everyone at different levels. So the expected fund is not meant for luxury. The expected fund is not meant for waste or self-glory. It is for project that is going to make a tangible impact in our environment. This fund is a tool, and I see it as a divine opportunity for you to touch lives, to build legacies, and to create a ripple of transformation that generations are going to remember you for. So if you receive it, Let your first thought never be about what car to buy or which house to complete. Rather, let it be about how you can bring light to your community, how you can give others a chance to earn a living, and how to be an instrument of progress in your community. Now, what if the expected 3rd of November comes and goes? And I think this is a question on everyone's mind. What happens if November 3rd comes and goes and it becomes business as usual? Now, what happens if there's no official disbursement, no announcement, no visible movement? I think the truth is such a moment would test our faith once again. I'm just being opinionated here. It will test our patience, our understanding, and our resolve, our unity right on this platform once again. But let's look deeper into this. What has kept us this far? I'm just asking a sincere question. What has actually kept us this far, if not faith? What has sustained this entire community, if not the divine assurance that we have from God? We have seen dates come and go before, yet we are still standing strong. We are still believing. We are still moving forward, forging ahead. And I think that alone is proof that there is a purpose behind this whole entire process. So, if by any means the 3rd comes and goes without physical disbursement, let us not allow any form of opposition to stand against us or stand against what God has built. Yes, it's always said that delay is not denial. The process might be slower than we expected, but I think the plan still remains very much intact. The management, the coordinators, even the government agencies that are involved, they know what is at stake. They know. They understand that too many people are depending on this, and the integrity of the project must not be compromised. But if we are to receive the fulfillment that we desire, we must also play our part very faithfully. And that means we must avoid negative talking. We must resist the temptation to spread the false narratives and false rumors and staying united. Let's not forget that the grant was established as a community development platform, not an avenue for personal greed or selfishness. So the true purpose of the grant still stands. A lot of people have misunderstood the purpose of this divine project. The grant was never designed to make anyone suddenly rich without purpose. It was meant to empower community, to build visionary leaders, responsible individuals who can use the resources to create lasting impact and generational impact. So when you receive your funds, it's not just your name that's on the line here. It's the name of your community, it's the name of your coordinator, the name of your organizations, and even the divine trust that is actually placed in you. And that is why we must be careful not to abuse it. Let your project reflect responsibility. Build schools, construct boreholes, help in road maintenance, supply hospital equipment, support the less privileged. The beauty of this initiative is that it gives every participant a chance to become an employer of labor. I'm being honest with you. And that means you create opportunities for others, you pay workers, you hire youth, you give people a sense of purpose and direction in life. So when you empower others, you automatically empower yourself. You multiply the blessings that already exists, by becoming a source of livelihood for others. And this is how continuity is actually achieved, by creating a system that does not end with you alone. You don't just receive and disappear into thin air. You invest, you build, you sustain. And that's the real meaning of development. That is what I can perceive as the real meaning of development. Now, I want us to remember that This new month is a divine call to responsibility. Every subscribers, every coordinators, every leader must try as much as possible to renew their commitment. Let us do away with selfishness. Let's do away with greed and deception. Let us speak the truth. Let us promote peace. Let us uphold the integrity of this project. If you are a coordinator, treat your subscribers with so much fairness. Don't you exploit their efforts or use their position to oppress them. Remember that leadership is service, not lordship. And if you are a subscriber also, try as much as possible to maintain patience and obedience to your coordinators or your leaders. Don't allow doubt or anger to make you to miss your portion. I remember the words of Apostle Ken, though we haven't had him directly, in time. And I think he said some time ago that this is God's project. No man can stop what God has already approved. I'm quoting Apostle Ken right now, and that statement still remains very valid. It reminds us that the hand of God is still upon this assignment and this mission. So there should be faith beyond every uncertainty that we see right now. This November, let your heart not be troubled by what you see or what you don't see. Sometimes God hides the process so that only the faithful will remain till the very end. It's like the story of the 10 virgins. If you could remember that, some waited with oil in their lamps, and while others they gave up too soon. So when the bridegroom finally came and arrived, it was the faithful ones that were actually rewarded. So let's be among the faithfuls, please. Let us wait, let us believe, let us prepare ourselves. Even if the thought comes and it appears like nothing visibly goes down, let that not be the end of your faith. Sometimes divine promises takes a few more days for final perfection. So November here, I see by God's grace is the month of my relief. Say that November is the month of my relief. Somebody will say, but in October you said the same thing, exactly the same. I will keep saying the same thing until I see it. Even God at creation, I've always referred us to this. God at creation, he faced the first very battle, and that battle was what? Was darkness. Darkness was all over the place. It was a major challenge, and creation couldn't continue until he began to say. If you look very well, the Bible said, and God said, let there be light. But my emphasis is, and God said. And if you continue again, you will see, and God said. And say, God said, and God said, and God said. God was always saying, and God said, and God said, and God said, let there be light. And God said, let there be firmament in the midst of the heavens. And God said, let there be the creeping things. And God said, let there be. And God, he kept saying, until he got to around verse 28 or thereabout. And the Bible said, and God saw. He kept saying until he saw. So even God did not stop saying until he saw. Then he kept saying. He stopped saying. And God saw that everything he created was good. So why would you say, because I say in October that is my month of relief, and so I should stop saying in November? I will keep saying until I see I'm following the pathway of my Father. So the silence, I believe, is going to break. And this November, by God's grace, will not pass without result. Definitely, the waiting would end. This long expectation would definitely be rewarded. Those who mocked will be silenced, rather. And those who stood firm in faith, they will testify. But beyond the money, may this month bring peace to every troubled heart, every troubled Christian, every troubled Muslims. May it restore broken relationship. May it heal some emotional wounds and strengthen our collective resolve. Let every doubt turn to joy for us, and every fear, let them turn to testimonies for us. And as we journey through this month, let us remember that the grand Fund is not the end, it's just the beginning. I see it as a seed, and what you do with it determines your harvest. So use it wisely. Use the fund purposefully. Let your actions speak louder than your words. Let this month of November 2025, let it be remembered as the month of divine relief for you, the month of community growth, and the month of fulfillment. So you stay patient, stay connected, stay faithful, stay focused, because I believe that God never fails and God is never late, even when men do. The project will stand. The community will rise again. And you that is listening to me right now, yes, you listening to the sound of my voice, you would be among those who are going to testify that the promise was worth the wait after all. I rest my case. This is Prince. It's just meant to lift you this morning and to tell you exactly how it is. Calm thought. We are here unshaken, and God will make these lines fall onto us in pleasant places, and we would have goodly heritages. Thank you very much. This is Prince. In case you're new, do kindly subscribe and hit the bell. You wouldn't miss out on vital updates. We love you and always will do. Standing for the masses. God bless you and do have a nice day.